Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about urbanization and emerging market in real estate, Nigeria and across Africa. But the truth is this: when you hear the word urbanization, something will come to your mind called infrastructure. But urbanization can never be all about infrastructure without consideration of population. So that shows that both infrastructure and the combination of population makes the language of urbanization something that we need to talk on, and that makes real estate markets something that each and every one of us will continuously want to find interest in. And I will call this the Nigerian African real estate market at your palm. The Nigerian real estate market at your palm. And this is the version of outbound training that facilitates knowledge wealth creation and preservation information all, and we call it the real estate insights. So now let's start with this opening quote that says, humans cannot fully function without adequate infrastructure to enhance and ensure a better seamless living in 21st century. In the past, if we ask what are the basic infrastructure, say road, drainage, electrification. But the funniest thing is, we've talked about from our academy that the need of man has gone beyond 3, food, clothing and shelter. It has gone beyond 7, it has gone beyond 12. Even common data. Without data now, to easily have communication with someone at a far distance, if that infrastructure is not in place for you and in 21st century, then I don't think we are living in an urban environment. So, all right, let's see this definition based on Oxford Standard. He said urbanization is the increase in the proportion of a population living in urban area and the process by which an area loses its rural character and way of life. Urbanization is a consequence mainly of rural-urban migration. If you notice, the context here is the culture. They don't want people to lose their culture based on their own Oxford Standard. So now we have the Urban Standard that says the increase in the proportion of the population living in urban. But the cost of living in urban is becoming higher, and people want to migrate to rural environment with the need for basic infrastructure to enhance their standard of living based on our own project that we do called agro to home, because we say the movement of rural population in urban area moving to rural area, not totally rural, like a suburb of an emerging city, and then they can now start a new development in that environment. But for them to start that living in that environment, we'll be considering hospital, we'll be considering a good road network, electrification, we'll consider like a shopping mall, schools, something like that. So now, urbanization is not the same as infrastructure without considering population growth size. Do we agree? Urbanization will not be the same if all your mind is just on infrastructure and you're not then now let's use this two family as a case study. So if we look at this family A, they have big size and they still have intention of procreating, while family B, they want to remain in this size. They don't even have the intention of adding more. So now, we were consulted at Adborn Harvest, and they said we should design a 4-bedroom duplex plus BQ for each family. I now ask this question: which family will be more comfortable, family A or family B? Family B, right? If you choose family A, do you have anybody that choose family A? So I think we have family B. The truth, family B will be more comfortable because Father and mother will have a room. The girl will have a room. The boy will have his room. They will also have a room for guests. And then if they have house help, the house help can stay at the BQ. But if you take a look at this family, it's not enough for them. So now, one of the things that infrastructure does or urbanization does is that it looks at the progression of population growth so that you put that consideration into the already existing size, so that as people start coming in, can these things still sustain them for the next 20 years, for the next 5 years, for the next 10 years, before there will be a need for expansion again. And that's one of the things that we've seen differently at Adborn Harvest and Knowns, that people are migrating into city of Lagos. But the good news is that city of Lagos already started creating something that will have to flow people to the suburb parts. And that's one of the reasons why the project like Epe, Ibejuleki is resurfacing as a new major market of real estate. One thing about growth is that there is a level where real estate will get to if there is nothing done called reurbanization. The appreciation value of that environment cannot increase anymore. Only reurbanization can make it happen. So, but if government says they are not ready for reurbanization, then we have to move to new environments for new urbanization. So, all right, let's get this infrastructure back from our academy, from Relift Academy. We know that we have infrastructure like electrification, we have like solar farm, good road network, greenery like garden where people can play, drainage system, a well layout, playing ground, solar street light, and a healthy water that one can actually drink. Schools and many more. So now let's just take a bit of case study about Nigeria urbanization. So number one is, if you take a look at the population of people taking this training right now, I'm very sure that we should be up to 25. And in the next 2 years, each and every one of us will have an average child of, let's say, 2. So if you multiply 2 times already existing 25, that's 50. 50 plus 25, that's 75. Only in this office. All right, now, because we are fatter and consideration of planning needs to also come in line. So now Nigeria is rapidly urbanizing with more people living in urban areas than in rural communities. A recent World Bank estimate shows that 53% of almost 213 million Nigeria live in the urban area. And there is a projection that it will rise to 70% by 2050. Meaning that if there is no more company like Adborn, and that's why at Adborn, zero competition, it's more about collaboration. So more companies need to come in line to move to suburb. Not all companies come into the city and choke the city, go to suburb and start creating new emerging communities that will contain 70% of 213 million population that will want to live in cities. And we're just talking about Nigeria alone. We are still not talking about Ghana. We have not talked about Rwanda. So, and Africa is the next big thing, and you will see. And they said in Lagos, Nigeria's biggest city, already has over 15.9 already, over 15 of this population. And I can still tell you, Mr. Chidi's brother is still thinking, I'm coming to Lagos to come up with you. My own brother is still thinking in Ogun State, I'm coming to Lagos to come and meet you. And you know, we have a mantra at that one that everybody take knowledge in other states and we're all bringing it to Lagos. Why Lagos? Why can't we also do something at the suburb areas so that we can have new emerging city to materialize? So now, let's go to our training fully. What is real estate markets? These are various locations where Real estate transactions are carried out based on individual choice and motive. Do you know that if your motive is to own a factory or warehouse, do you know that you may not consider Lagos? You will consider, that Shagam Express, Lagos Ibadan Expressway, or the new airport they are doing, and that will be the market that will suit you. I said I have a bias. The bias is that only the richest people are in Lagos that will be able to buy real estate, that there's no other rich people in a different part of Nigeria, until by the time you started traveling and realized that even the rich people are not in Lagos, they are out there in other states. So, and these are part of the things that when you have come up with real estate, just create the products, the markets that will attract it, you harness it. It's a matter of time. And now we can look at Lekki market is different from the mainland market. Mainland is different from Abuja. Abuja is different from, let's say, Port Harcourt market. So one will take a look at the motive and the choice before considering the market that you actually want to buy from. Let's say, for example, you want to buy for the sake of, I just got back in December. You'll be considering mainland and a bit of Lekki for search, so that you can make your money. So now, real estate market opportunity in emerging markets. The number one is agro to home. Yeah, number one is agro to home. Why? There is no more plenty new cities. We have to start creating plenty of more new cities that will be able to accommodate the data I make provided, that in 2050, which me and you will be part of, at least we are in 2025. So all of us in this place, we still have more than 25. Yeah, we still have more than 25 years to go. So now they say 70% of 213 million will be looking for cities that they can live in Nigeria. Are we still going to be 213 million in 2050? No, sir, right? That means that population too will have gone to like maybe 300 or 350 or 400. So, and that's where data helps to make a well-informed decision, a projected decision. So, then number two is there will still always be a need for residential real estate development, even in the city. And that's where you have what we call redevelopment, where somebody will buy old building, they crack it down, they can increase the floor, something like that. So now, commercial real estate. The more people started living in an environment, do you know that? You know where they call Computer Village? You know that place is not a commercial hub before, it's a residential hub. But some people will just travel abroad that live in those environments. They bring one computer, they put it in front of their house, and then maybe somebody is passing by, you buy. Another one, okay, me too, I'm coming. I'll bring some computers. And then that's how that place evolve. And then today, all the people have sold their house now, and people have bought it. It's now strictly commercial. So over time, residential will give birth to commercial due to the fact that people will start discovering new needs. And that new needs, businesses will surface out of those needs, and then it will naturally move people out of that environment fully for commercial, while people will go and look for a new place where they can start living as residential. Let's take Arepo as an example. Arepo also starts strictly as a pure residential, but now they brought filling station for you, they brought Wise Buy, they brought Boku. Before you know it, more will start coming, and then the place will start becoming more of commercial, and people will be coming to legacy grain. so and these are how environments evolve. Then the third one is about real estate investment trust, REITs. Research proves that Nigeria and South Africa has the best structured REITs because our real estate market is robust, and the real estate market is also very, very robust. due to our own population, and also due to the fact that the Western also pick a lot of interest in their environment. So, and this is where you don't have to own buildings. All you need to do is look out for a REIT company like Adbond that we said you can own. A family of 12 can own a 2-bedroom apartment, and then we can actually help you put it to rental earning on an annual basis, and then after every management deduction and maintenance services, whatever that is left, let's say you have left 10 million, we divide that 10 million for the 12 family, and we remit their annual rental earning to them. So that's what REIT is all about. And REIT can be in commercial, it can be in industrial, different kind of project, depending on the company, depending on what the companies are doing. So let's take a look at what African real estate market looks like. By 2050, over 60% of Africans will live in cities, up from, as of today, is 40% living in cities currently. So, and do you remember during our Real Lift Academy training that the population of Africa is 1.5 plus billion? So now, they say in 2050, 60% of them will be looking for cities to live in. And look at this second statement. The second statement says, imagine urban centers, secondary cities like Kigali, Addis Ababa, Nairobi, Accra, and Abidjan are attracting investment and talent. And one thing I want us to pay attention to more is this. You know, there's this statement that says talent will go to where it's appreciated. Talent will go to where it's appreciated. And one of the things that we need to do differently to assist this country, Nigeria, is to ensure that we invest more into infrastructure that will bring best out of the people who have gained one knowledge of the other. And I made an example. I said people will school in other states and rush down to Lagos because Lagos seems to be where the talent feel appreciated. So if people also get knowledge in here in Nigeria and they feel like Canada is where their talent is appreciated, they will leave and they move from one country to another. And that's one of the things that these other countries are start setting themselves for, like Rwanda, Kigali. And these are part of the things that real estate companies to start putting into consideration beyond just profits orientation. So what are the key drivers of growth for new emerging markets? Things you should be listening to. Look at the population. Where are human beings migrating to now? If you go and do real estate where human beings are not going, you are just wasting your time, you are wasting your money. You must be sure. And you know, I told you that we always do research. That, where will you like us to do this? Where will you how will you like us to do this? If you don't use that research to make your decisions, you will not get anything out of your investment. So African population is expected to double by 2050. So because we are still procreating. So the next one says rise in middle class. The rise in middle class will always give room for a need for modern housing. And the next one is technology adoption, prop tech platforms like Adbond and also Seso Global in Nigeria that are digitalizing real estate transactions. Then the last key growth is government incentives like urban renewal initiative and housing finance reform, mortgage refinancing companies. So, you know, when we have ideas like this, and then government start also considering a favorable laws that enhance foreign investors to be able to come in. Take a look at some laws in Dubai that will say come and build, we won't tax you. And you see, naturally that would draw people to bring their hard-earned money, to draw investors into such country. And before you know it, the country will become urbanized. So what are the three basic challenges? Number one is urban sprawl. Urban sprawl means there are some people where they cannot leave Lagos. They don't like to test. Don't worry. Give me 2-bedroom in a block. I don't mind. Than to say they should come and collect a duplex in a new emerging communities. Some people are just like that. So we have what we call infrastructure deficits. It's part of the challenge, like bad road network. It's part of the challenge. Let's say, for example, poor telecommunication can also be part of the challenge, and many more. So informal settlements remains pressing issues as well, where places that should be like waterfronts, like Makoko, become slums that people will be sitting on gold mines and they will not know. So my recommendation and future outlook is sustainable and green buildings. Growing interest in eco-friendly design due to climate change should start being something that we should put into consideration. And if you take a look at locations that have abundance of greenery, with buildings, naturally the value of those environments appreciates. And that's the likes of Ikoyi. It will keep going higher. Magodo, it will keep going higher. And that's why we should try at every project that we do, that what we do here at Admon Harvest and Homes and for other real estate companies, mandates, let's follow the rules of government that says at least make 25 to 30% of your development area to be green. It's not just because of the short-term profit, it's for your long-term profit as well, and the long-term profit of the investor alongside as well. So smart cities like Lagos, Kigali, Nairobi are investing in smart infrastructure. So if you are considering markets to invest your money into, they say Lagos in Nigeria, Kigali in Rwanda, Nairobi in Kenya. Then cross-border investment. International developers are showing interest in African real estate markets right now. So, and the last one, once you hear PPP, public-private partnership, key to unlocking housing and infrastructure backlogs. So, channel your resource in that direction. So, our closing quote says, the culture shaping for next-gen living and real estate investment will be based on population to infrastructure ratio due to ease of globalization access. And at the beginning of my training, I showed you a phone. I said, real estate African market at your palm. So with your smartphone, you can invest anywhere in the world that you want to invest your money on. So our learning conclusion code says, effective human functionality is found in an environment of continual learning with a supportive action drive for desired results. Thank you very much for staying till the end of today's training. And we believe if you have questions or comments or you have contribution to the training, kindly put it at the comment section below. See you some other time. Thank you.